So Survival Mode Season 2 is here. Let's take a look at the vendors. Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. So there are two vendors for the Survival Mode. You may be wondering which is which and why. Let's take a quick look. So we have like the Survival Mode Season vendor here. And we have the Survival Mode vendor. So for this one over here, basically you have to play Survival Mode to be able to purchase the stuff from it. Like basically you can see there's a requirement. You have to defeat to survive mode level 5 of season 2 to be able to purchase the free turret. So there's quite a whole bunch of items. Obviously I won't be able to show those to show you those items, but basically you can see there's various pets, there's various base items. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that we can get from the Survival Mode vendor. And in this case, you have some requirements that you have to fulfill in order to be able to purchase the stuff. And also, you have to use some data chip to purchase the items. But even if you have some data chips, if you did not defeat, let's say, level 20, you cannot purchase the green crystal candle. And for some item, like for the Shadow Bat, we already have like the Dark Construct Bat, which is pretty similar. But from what I understand, the Shadow Bat, it does a tiny bit more damage because you have to get it through Survival Mode. And the other vendor, it may be a bit challenging to get access to the vendor. There's a lot of people trying to get to those vendors today. So for the other vendor, you can see there's some sort of serum that will give you extra might and extra precision. There's another serum that gives you some extra defense. There's a few new Chromo Packs that you can purchase. In the case of this vendor, all you really need is the data chips themselves. It doesn't matter how high you go into survival mode, you can purchase those, you just have to grind for the currency. Although there is another way to get the currency, we'll take a look at that in just a second. So you can see there's two new Chromo Packs, a Hologram Chromo Pack and a Zeus Chromo Pack. There's also Power of the Source Eyes. Let's take a quick look. Kind of look like the Power of Zeus eyes. I'm not sure what this seems to be blinking. And there is a whole bunch of other base items. Like there's the Mr. Freeze frame that you can put in your lair. There's a small version and a large version. Cold in Arkham. And there's a whole bunch of ice crystal, icefall base items that you can have for your lair. And there's a whole bunch of, I won't look at all of them because there's quite a bunch of them. But you can see there's a whole bunch of icicles you can get. Hoarfrost Wall, let's take a quick look at that one. So I guess this year the base items are based around Mr. Freeze, or so it would seem. There's a Chromatic Amber material. And you can see the materials are account bound, so you could purchase them with one character and give them to another one of your character. Because also one of the things about survival mode, you have to be combat rating 310 to be able to participate to survival mode. We'll take a look at that in just a second. So we have the Holographic Aura. That is the aura that I was wearing on my character. The same with the Holographic Eyes. And again, there's some other companions that you can get from your lair. Let's take a quick look at this one. So there's again a whole bunch of base items. Again, I won't look at all of them, but I'll try to look at the more pertinent one. There's a few that are pretty popular. Like there's a whole bunch of Apocalypse base items that were really popular. I purchased quite a few of those. I'll try to show them to you. There's the Owen Monitor, Owen Gateway, Conduit Console. Not sure what that's supposed to be. And this is not the one. This one, I love this one. So again, there's a whole bunch of base items from Apocalypse. I love this monitor. That's the one I was looking for. The Owen Charging Console. It is a base item that a lot of people have been asking for. And as you can see, it is back. So if you want to have a nice lantern battery for your Green Lantern character, the time is now. So you will be able to get some of those items from the broker. Obviously, those that are account bound, people will not be able to sell those from the broker. But there's a whole bunch of base items and even some of the styles. Like for example, the aura and the eyes, I bought those from the broker. When you first log in, you do get a little reward. You do get a little data chip cache, so let's take a look at what's in the cache. And you don't have to do anything, you get it automatically. So it gives you 10 data chips. So I still had the 10 data chips I had in the last survival mode, so now I have 20 data chips. So you can see the Green Lantern battery, how big it is and what it actually looks like. And there's also the various interface or the various windows that you can see. I love those windows. So these are really nice Green Lantern based items. So if you missed out on buying those items in the past, here's your chance to be able to get them once more. And there are some Superman based items like the Fortress doors. I love those. I'll probably try to purchase at least a few of those this year. There's the various consoles that you can get. So I bought a few of those monitors in the previous years, or those consoles. I love those consoles. And sadly, you can see for the smaller base, these are a little big. I probably should put them in a bigger base, but we'll see. Kind of thought it would look good in a space base, and it kind of does. There's just maybe not quite enough room. It does work a bit better if you have a bit more room. And sadly, a lot of millions went into buying those base items way back when. The memories. It's one of the reasons why I learned to use the broker. There was a lot of cool base items that I really wanted to have. So in some cases, I pretty much had to bite the bullet and just buy them from the broker. I made a video way back when about the Green Lantern base items. People were asking where could they get those base items. Well, now you know where. So you could purchase them from the survival mode vendors, obviously, or you could try to buy them from the broker. So you will be able to purchase some items from the broker. Already you can see some of those items are already for sale on the broker. Right now we seems to have only the Owen gateway for the Green Lantern stuff. Sadly, we don't seem to have the Owen charging console just yet. And I have to give my usual broker warning. Prices on the broker changes all the time. These are the prices you see right now. Tomorrow, next month, next week, the prices could be different. Heck, later tonight, the prices could be different. So to get the coins you need to purchase those items, you're gonna have to either play the survival mode. So you can see here, Survival Titans Training Sim. It's a 4-player mission. It requires a combat rating 310. The suggested combat rating is actually 316. So if you are at 310, you will probably find it difficult because your combat rating will be a bit low compared to the mission. And there is also one more requirement for survival mode. You need 21,928 dominance. If you play as a DPS or as a healer, it doesn't really matter. That's mostly important for tank and for controller. To keep it simple, it will influence how easy it will be for you to be able to crowd control the enemies in survival mode. So basically with my controller, I have 22,945 dominance, which is more than enough for survival mode. So basically at high levels, dominance must be higher than the enemy's willpower to crowd control effect to be effective. So that concerns mostly the tank and the controller. So at 22,945, I'm good. And I pretty much only have dominance from my gear. So this is only from my gear. Often I'll see people who wonder why I don't put points in dominance as a controller. That is why. Just with my gear, I have more than enough dominance to pretty much play any content. So I would suggest not just to cure for the mission, try to get a group together, otherwise you might find that a bit frustrating. Sadly, you need 4 players. That's the sad part. Again, it requires combat rating 310. The suggested combat rating is 316. Suggested dominance 21,928. And also for the rewards, not only will you get data chips to be able to purchase items from the various vendors, you will get also random rewards from playing survival mode. And this year they've added also one other thing. You can purchase the data chip straight from the marketplace. So you can see there's a little tab also here for a limited time. So you can see here the 50 data chips. So it costs 540 marketplace cash. That is if you are a subscriber. If you are a subscriber, you get 10% off from the marketplace. So if you're not a subscriber, it's going to cost you 600 marketplace cash to buy 50 data chips. So we saw some of those items cost like 350 data chips. So it'll cost you roughly $45 to purchase those items if all you do is purchase data chips. So survival mode starts today. I'm not sure exactly how long it's going to last. Some people says it's going to last 2 weeks. I've heard other people say that it will last for a month. So at this point, I'm not too sure. Just to be safe, assume that it is going to last only 2 weeks. If it lasts longer than that, even better. So don't wait too late, otherwise you might miss out on playing survival mode. Assuming you want to play survival mode, that is. Although we strongly suggest survival mode is pretty tough. If you go into survival mode with a random group, you're probably asking for trouble. So you probably want to create your own group in order to go into survival mode. So there's probably going to be a lot of people playing survival mode, so don't hesitate to look into looking for groups for people who want to group for survival mode. But if you really want to, there's nothing stopping you from just queuing for the mission. But from what I understand, if you queue for the mission, the queue are pretty slow because most people are actually trying to form groups for survival mode. So survival mode season 2 starts today. So good luck to you all. If you have any questions, feel free to ask so in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do about answering your questions. I have roughly 2,000 videos about this Universe Online at this point, so if I don't answer your question right away, just search in my videos. Odds are I already made a video that answers your question. Or click one of the videos that you see on your screen right now. Bye-bye.